My top, Tampa Bay. Let's roll. It's game day. Rays on the diamond, bolts in the sky, Bucks on the goal line, Bulls ride or die. From the tailgate talk to the bright field, you know where to go. It's the JP Peterson Show.
Oh, yeah, it is. On Tuesday that I did not expect to be talking about some of the weird crap we're going to talk about today. That was a lot to take in last night between the U.S. men's national game and the Rays, whatever the hell that was at Tropicana Field. Yeah, my glasses are even tilted, man. I'm a little askew this morning. Timmy, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I've been better, but I'm not askew right now. I'm pretty straight right now.
You're physically hurting. I'm emotionally hurting and mixed up over what all went down last night, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it together, guys. We got a great show for you today. All seriousness aside or kidding aside, whatever. Joe Maddon's going to join us at 11:30. One of my favorite humans on the planet for so many reasons, not the least of which is he's almost as big a Springsteen fan as I am. We've shared many conversations about that over the years. So just the guy needs no introduction. He's to me the smartest guy I've ever met in baseball. You know, him and Big O, you know, they're 1A, 1B. And just incredibly knowledgeable about the game. We're only going to have a half hour, but man, we could go 10 with the both of these guys talking ball. So we'll do that at 11:30. Jeff Attinella is going to join us from the Rowdies, our World Cup correspondent, at 10:15 to try and make heads or tails out of what the hell that was last night. And we'll get into whatever you guys want to talk about. So should be a rather eventful day. So, Timmy, Big O and I go out to Riveters last night, which is the home of World Cup soccer here in Tampa. We belly up at the main bar. All the American Outlaws are there. The place is absolutely packed. We're singing Country Roads. I believe I have a little video that's on my channel if you want to pop it up, or I could do the old here it is on my phone deal. So,
I can probably get it.
All right, let's do
it on X.
No, you know, I don't know if I posted it on X, so we'll do it this way.
Okay.
And that's not even working either. You can see what was going on at Rivers last night. So this is right after we scored. There's the big brown
equalizer.
Yeah, it's 61 seconds before the equalizer. We're all singing Country Roads. I mean, I felt like I was at the game in Seattle. You know, the flyover happens, everybody's screaming USA, USA.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad I was in that atmosphere because I kind of get like a fraction of what was going through the veins of the American players before they completely crapped the bed. There's just no other way to put it. That was as big a moment and a big a flop as I don't know if I've ever seen in sports for the moment. And I hate to pile on the guys. Listen, they're the men in the arena. We are nothing compared to them. They're the ones that put it all out there. They are the ones that have achieved greatly to even make this team and to be out there. I mean, that is what it is. That is a life well lived. That is an incredible accomplishment, just being on that field and having the privilege to take that stage in the arena. Those are the men that matter. We're the men to talk about it. Let's just be clear about that. All right? That was embarrassing. And that's what happens when you go out on that stage and you are not prepared. And the United States was not prepared for what happened. And that's surprising to me. I didn't think they were going to beat Belgium. I think we all got a little bit carried away with this United States men's team. And people, you know, it's a great spot with the Ruzioni at the bar. Do you believe in miracles? Well, that was a miracle. that 1980 deal. Miracles don't happen often. They make great stories, but this was not the story to be written. I mean, I'm sitting there talking to I'm like, is this what we're really going to do today? We're going to host a World Cup on our 250th birthday. We're going to have a team that comes out of nowhere and is just playing incredible soccer, captivating a nation. And then, of course, like everything in America, politics has to rear its ugly head. And Trump gets involved, which I thought was great, because he undid a terrible injustice. But there's no question that set the scene for what happened last night. I think it absolutely played into the emotional letdown of this team. It created an atmosphere that was not just about soccer. And that's what happens when politics gets involved. Now suddenly it was the world hating everything about the United States of America, right? Oh, Trump bullied FIFA into getting Bolagon out there. Nobody talking really about the actual facts of the case, which clearly showed that FIFA screwed up and they finally got it right. But that doesn't matter. None of that matters because now everybody feels like Trump bullied FIFA. So it's an illegitimate game. And Bolagon is playing and he shouldn't be playing when he should have been playing. Because when Trump gets involved, that's just what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to lose their minds, not really think about, I probably should still support my country anyway. And I believe it created a lot of mixed emotions in these players because that is not the team that we've seen throughout this World Cup. Not even close. Christian Pulisic, I don't know what the F he was doing. Dispossessed 11 times in the game. Couldn't complete a pass.
Is that the same as a turnover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just awful. Talk about not being a factor. You're killing us, bro. You're killing us. Supposed to be the golden age of soccer. You're the leader of this, and you can't complete a pass. I mean, you were the most nervous player out there. It was embarrassing. And when Matt Freese, the United States gets a goal, little deflection, whatever, they earned it. Tillman with another free kick goal. The place is going bananas. Now the momentum is switched. The USA had turned it around. They're back in the game. They're back in the game. And then Matt Freese, brain freeze. Complete brain freeze. Your name should probably not be Freeze if you're playing on the international stage as a goalkeeper. It's probably a bad name. And you, Younghoe Koo. You Younghoe Koo. Right there. The biggest game of U.S. men's soccer. You go to kick the ball.
That was unbelievable.
Elementary fundamental in the game.
Unbelievable.
In the game. What do? We kick the ball. We got to kick the ball. That's the name of the game. And you can't do it. You can't do it. In that moment, you can't kick the ball. Younghoe Koo got cut for that. Yeah. Hopefully you will be too. And our good friend Jeff Attinella is going to join us here in a minute and talk about that. And Freese did make a 10-bell save at the beginning of the game, 45 seconds in, and saved the day. Because if that one goes in, you think that balloon popped like the Hindenburg last night, that would have been ugly because then it would have been the whole game. There may never have been a recovery from that. So at least he saved that. But that will go down in history. And with all that was on the line and all the eyes around the world, literally billions, in that moment, the United States of America did that. That's what we did. Man, oh man, oh man.
So I'm on record as, for my I guess, indifference towards soccer, right? But I get, as I've mentioned, I get a little hyped up around this time of year because of the national part of it and the stage and the event that the World Cup is. I mean, just like a lot of people that get into it this time of year.
Sure.
Or this time of every 4 years, and maybe the Olympics or whatever, if you're into that. But I've got friends since high school that are huge soccer fans that played soccer in high school and they followed it. They know the FIFA, they follow the international.
Guys. We all have friends like that. Those guys.
Yeah. So a couple of things, because I'm texting those guys during the game and even beforehand, trying to get a couple of them on my show for Saturday to talk about it. And so the interesting thing is a couple of them said that the whole Trump involvement in that was completely overblown, that he had absolutely nothing to do with the red card getting overturned.
Yeah.
That was just FIFA correcting itself. He said, which they've done before.
Yes.
As an entity. It's not, this isn't something that's groundbreaking and earth shattering that's never happened before.
Right.
It happens all the time. It's like in college football, you get a targeting call, you're suspended for the next game, and after that game, they end up overturning it and say, you know what, it wasn't the right call. You're fine.
Well, Trump said he called Johnny. I called Johnny. Great fella. Yeah. So, I mean, did he yell and scream at him to turn it? No, he didn't do that. He just said, let's take a look at it. And they were going to take a look at it anyway.
Going to do that.
Yeah.
That's procedure. They're going to anyway. Not a big deal. But it's a great story, right? If you're a Trump supporter, it's a great, amazing story. If you're not, you're on the other side of the line. Yeah. It's all
the worst thing ever.
Yeah, all hell just broke loose in the world.
It's like if Balogun scores the winning goal, like in this game, it's the most ridiculous story ever written. We were talking about that. It's like, what if Balogun score like in the 90th minute scores the game winner and Trump's out it? This is going to be the most ridiculous story script of all time. And there was opportunity for that to happen, and everybody tuned in for it. This is what we want to see, right? And it went. If there's an antithesis to that outcome, which is unbelievable, that's what we saw last night.
And look,
in that moment that he Young Wei cooed it, that's the antithesis of him scoring the winning goal. That's the worst that could possibly happen, and it happened.
And it wasn't just freeze in that instant. That's the one that we're all going to remember, and that's getting the most airplay.
We were clearly outclassed. We weren't winning that game anyway. Right.
I don't know any of the players' names, other than Pulisic because he's the most popular, whatever. But some dude missed a wide open net at the other end too. When he kicked a wide left, that has to be talked about. It was just from the opening kick, and I didn't pay hard attention to it, but I was watching, and every time the announcers, when they start talking faster and the inflection of their voice increases, they're down here, then they're down here, then they're down here, then they're up here, then they get up here. Then you look at the TV, right? Because some of the kids or something's about to happen. So I've trained myself for that.
Yes.
But even if it's in the Mexican broadcast, and I don't understand what they're saying.
You don't need to, it doesn't matter, right?
No.
Yeah.
But there were several opportunities, I thought, not knowing anything about the game of soccer, where I thought, man, they're just not trying. Like, it doesn't even look like they're trying. Like, the players aren't on the same page. You had the centering passes, and there was nobody in the box.
Yeah.
Just nobody. There was nobody around. It's like, are we on the same page here? And I don't know if it goes – no, and I don't know if this goes back to – I can certainly tell when an NFL team is unprepared or an NHL team is not prepared. But my uneducated to soccer mind certainly said that these guys aren't on the same page. Like, they're playing a different game. And it was just I thought it was a bad look, and it's extremely unfortunate for what was such a fun run, right? I think that's more the story here and the way they lost. But we got somebody who knows a little bit more than I do about it. So
yes, let's bring him in. Our good friend Jeff Attinella, who is our World Cup correspondent, and is not happy. Our Rowdy's promotions director, marketing director, USF Hall of Famer, MLS goalie. You've been the man in the arena, and I prefaced all my comments, Jeff, before I said anything. Like, we on the side who talk about this are the least of this. Those men have accomplished more than we ever will in our lives just being on that field last night, and they're the one that put their ass out there in the arena, not us. So, with that being said, that was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I feel bad for those guys. I really do, because I know they're all just We think we feel bad. I can't imagine what those guys are going through today.
I actually really, really appreciate that you preface it like that, because I'm going to try and be really delicate with the way I talk about certain things, because I've never been on a World Cup team. I've played in that stadium. I've been in front of a sellout crowd in that place, but I've never played in a World Cup game. So I want to try to approach it with that mindset.
Yes.
But I think for me, the thing that is the saddest about the whole thing, because I'm just sad. Like, honestly, I'm just sad. I'm not mad. I'm just sad. It's that this was such an important moment. And we talked about it yesterday, that I thought that there was so much riding on this game in terms of the belief of where soccer's heading. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many people that were on the fringe of like, whoa, maybe I do like soccer and maybe I can pay attention to this sport.
Yeah.
And it was just the way in which it happened that is so demoralizing, because we were the worst. That was the worst game in the knockout stage. That was the worst game in the World Cup. That was one of the worst games that we've watched this entire tournament. Non-competitive. And I think that for me, it's one of those things where if they would have gone down, you know what I mean? Like, you watch that England game, like if England would have lost that game, I think everybody in England leaves that game with a tremendous amount of pride
absolutely.
for the they put in.
Yeah. Both teams played terrific soccer. Terrific.
It was like not going to the ball. The lackadaisical, our best players not showing up in the biggest moment. Those are just things that just can't happen. And for whatever reason, they happened last night. And I don't think that Belgium is that much better than the US is. I just think that for whatever reason, the team was not ready for the moment. And with a group that plays in Europe, with a group that has guys that have played in Champions Leagues, not being ready for that moment for me is almost inexcusable. Because there is a burden that comes with being on the U.S. men's national team, but it's also a tremendous honor. Like, I fought my entire career to try to make that team. Like, I would die for that badge. Yeah. And I know that those guys would too. But when you had to die for the badge, we laid an egg. And that for me, that's the thing that makes it so tough.
It's well said. It's really well said. And you go to the why. And I'll say this about Belgium. And I'm not a soccer expert, but I think I'm pretty learned in human nature, and I understand the emotions that go into the games, and this is why we talk about them beforehand to set the stage. And I think what happened behind the scenes, or off the field, I think that made Belgium superheroes. I think that we're like, nobody's talking about we're better than U.S. It's all about Flo Balogun, and if he plays, we somehow have no chance. Are you freaking kidding me?
Right.
That's what Belgium's saying. They're like, we're freaking Belgium. This is soccer. This is not baseball or football. This is soccer. Okay. We are a top flight European team. You are not. And I know a lot of Americans don't want to hear that, and they don't understand it, but that's it. And Belgium was like, what are you people talking about? Half our guys could be down and we'd still beat the United States. That's how they feel. And that's how they should feel, given the records and the resumes of the two teams. So you turned Belgium into superheroes, and then they changed their lineup and put go more physical. And frankly, if we're going to analyze this game, Jeff, the thing that really pissed me off was how weak we responded. They came out and just physically took it to us. We kept looking at the referee like he's going to call. Hey, he ain't calling it. You better effing man up. You better man up and protect the ball at all cost. Because that's what they're doing. They're throwing you around like a rag doll, and you keep getting up looking for a foul. Learn, right? Aren't the players supposed to say, this is the way the game's going to be called? This is the way we have to play it.
100%. And I think that as well with that, I've been thinking a lot about this and trying to really dive into the psychological side of things with that red card, because obviously that was the huge talking point.
Yep.
There's a group of players that, I don't want to call them entitled, but that's always been the vibe around this group, is that they're entitled because this is the first U.S. men's national team group that had the academy system, and they've been fed all these things, all that stuff.
Generation. Yeah.
And it's I don't think that they were ready to be the villain. I don't think that they were ready to be the villain. And
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you're not ready to be the villain, then you're gonna get punched in the face because everyone's expecting you to be the good guy. No, you're the villain now. So it's you got to wear that with a badge of honor. Yep. And they weren't ready to do that. And Belgium came out and punched them in the face, and they get punched in the face, and then they show no fight back.
None.
And for me,
until the second half. Second half, they started pushing, and the ref started blowing the whistle, which I thought was a little weird.
Yeah, I mean,
when we retaliated,
the third goal, obviously, I thought coming out of halftime that we looked decent, but then the third goal obviously was a disaster, and that just sent things down the wrong path. But it was just the lack of fight, and honestly too, it was like, we needed our best players to play their best game, and that's what you expect. And I hate to bring this back to the old generation, but like when Clint Dempsey had to play his best game, he played his best game. When Landon Donovan,
he was the biggest in the biggest moments. Him and Landon both. Yep.
And we didn't have that. Serginho Dest is one of our best players, and I thought he was atrocious.
Yeah.
Pulisic didn't show up. He's the guy. He didn't show up.
Bologun had some moments, but we
didn't even get him the ball. We didn't even get him the ball. So it was great to have him back, but we didn't even get him the ball. And it was just like, across the board, people were just getting dominated. And the only silver lining that I take from this moment was I thought that Freeman, the 21-year-old, was ready.
Yeah.
I thought that Sebastian Berhalter, when he came in the game, he's young. He tried to fire up the crowd. He brought energy. I thought he was
loved
ready.
That. That was a jolt we needed.
So I think that like, maybe it's not this group of guys, but maybe it's the guys that were young sitting on the bench watching this go down that will be prominent in the next World Cup, that will really wear this tougher than the guys that we saw.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, it's just everything was off. They couldn't pass the ball. They couldn't control the ball. They weren't up for the fight. They got beat defensively. And it was just like, how do you not show up to that game with the right mentality? And that's ultimately for me what it came down to. I
think your point about being the villain, because I even said this in a couple of posts. I was like, if you were on social media yesterday, okay, if the players picked up their phones at any point, all right, and got a global perspective of what the world was looking at, they saw themselves as the villains. To your point, it's like, oh my God, look what the big bad USA just did. Trump bullied the FIFA into putting Bologun in the game. Now we all hate you. It was the USA against the world last night. And a better team. Yeah. And a better team. I think emotionally, they had no shot. They had no shot. And I don't want to make excuses for them, because you still got, no matter what's going on outside, you got to focus in and play. That's your job. That's why you have that jersey. That's your job. So, but if we're just being honest, I think it was a huge factor, because that was not the team we've seen. What made them so much worse? What could possibly have done it? It's what went down, man. It's just if they got on their phones yesterday, they saw that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's psychological, but it's like, there's a psychological side of it too. But it's like on the first goal in a World Cup game, you have 4 people that don't go to the ball. How do you not go to the ball?
They were just frozen.
In the second goal, you get all the momentum in the world. The stadium's back in it. You have no business being in that game. If you get to 1-1, if you get to halftime 1-1, you're sitting in a spot where you're like, how the hell did we end up getting here? But we're here and we're in it now, and we figured out a way to get through that first half. To go from that momentum to just the immediate response from Belgium and giving up that goal the way they did with that player that just runs completely free. That's a mentality thing. And the thing that sucks is like, you talk about mentality, like any conversation that I've ever had about mentality in a locker room and the mentality not being right happens in the dog days of summer, when you're in the middle of a very long season and everybody's tired and people aren't getting up for the game.
Right.
You can't have a conversation about mentality in a knockout stage in a World Cup game and think that that's something that the mentality just wasn't right. That's not excusable. No, that's the thing where it's like, that's not excusable. And I don't know, man, it just sucks. Like,
well, I don't think it was effort. I don't think they didn't try hard. It's like when you're so emotionally ripped up, you just can't play at that level. Right. Your brain is not locked into what it should be locked into. Right. And I think if I were the coach, I'd said, put your phones away yesterday. I don't want you guys to see what's going on out there in the world, because it's not putting us in a good light. Yeah. And right or wrong, whether, Trump was right or wrong, it shouldn't have affected players, but I think it did. Did. And I don't want to give him an excuse, but
yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Like, I truly still think that I truly in my heart believe that if US just plays their best game, which they had been playing their best game up until that point, that game is a toss up, that game goes to the point where it's like, this is a really close game. We're both going toe to toe. Like, I truly believe that if we play our best game, but like, we have to play your best game. You have to play your best game in those moments.
And we played our worst.
We played our absolute worst. Yeah. Like we played our absolute worst, and it happened, and it showed it, and it's just frustrating, man. As somebody that like really wants to see this sport do well in this country, it's really frustrating, and you don't want to put this on that group of players. But I also think that there's too many pundits out there talking about like, you know, like this group has a lot to be proud of, and they proved a lot of things and all that stuff.
There was a lot of that last night.
It's like, no, like, be realistic about it. Like, be really realistic about it, because you had a whole country captivated by your team, by your sport. And when everybody was really locked in, you didn't show up. And that hurts things a lot.
Jeff, you're part of this, what I would say is the upper crust of soccer in America. I mean, you've played, you know, at the highest level. So you wonder, there's the rest of us, which is, you know, 80 to 90% American. And as you just said, the casual fans are watching right now. So this is when they wanted to see your best. You had that all upon you, and you just froze. It's like you should have been inspired by that moment. You should have been inspired and played to your absolute best. You're on home soil, and it absolutely went the rest. So now I wonder if those questions in your group of people, to your point, you know, are going to be hard enough. Are they just going to soft pillow this landing? Like, we don't get better if we soft pillow this landing for the team. And I understand the people you can see it on TV. The people that have played, you know, they won't take the punches that are needed to be thrown. Now, Carly Lloyd, who, by the way, has won World Cups. And I know it's a little bit of apples and oranges a little bit, but the fact of the matter, she has the gravitas to talk about it. And she said it last night, what needed to be said that, frankly, nobody else was saying.
Yeah, she threw the punches.
Yes.
She threw the punches.
The rest of the guys need to step up and start. Listen, we love you guys, but we got to be better. We can't soft pillow this landing. Carly Lloyd certainly did not do that last night, to her credit.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I don't know why that's the messaging, because like, I truly don't know why that's the messaging, because I think that you have to be realistic about what you saw.
Yep.
And everyone's like, you know, this is exactly the team that we thought we were. We thought we were going to land in the round of 16, and that's what we did, and all these things. But it's like, that's not the way that this entire team, that's not the way that this entire World Cup, that's not the buildup that was being built up to 2026. Like, for U.S. soccer, 2026 was supposed to be a monumental year where we took that next step. We did it on home soil, and we developed the game further, because these players have been made for this opportunity. And again, it's one game, but that's how fickle the World Cup is. And that's how fickle this sport is in this country, where that one game, if you lose that game in penalties, people are okay. If you lose that game 3-2 in an incredible game, hard fought game, and you go down swinging, everyone's okay. The one thing you couldn't do is no show.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like, that's what happened. And it's the reality of the situation is like, that's a huge blow to the sport in this country. And I hate to say that, because I champion this sport, and like, of course, like I'm like, my passion is to try to get people to love this game, and my passion is to try to get people to come down to Al Lang Stadium and watch the Rowdies, because the Rowdies mean so much to me, and I love that team. But it's a blow. It's a blow. And there's really no getting around it. So like, where the conversation goes from here with everybody, I'm not really sure. Like, hopefully everybody falls in love with the other stars that are happening in the World Cup, because there's so many good games left, and like, there's so much good soccer to be played in this World Cup that it's still going to be really exciting.
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable.
So like there's still that going on. Like, there's still going to be Colombian watch parties everywhere, because everybody loves to party with the Colombians. It's been amazing. but it's like
I don't know. Norway's catching up, baby. Norway is catching up.
There's still so many fun things to talk about, but it's just the way that it went down that I don't.
It's a killer, man. It's a
killer. And like, I just don't think that the people that are sugarcoating it are doing any service to.
No, they're not.
They're doing any service to anybody, because like, you got to call it for what it is. Like, I always try. That was
my point. That's my point. I don't know if the soccer elite in our country have swallowed that yet. They still don't want, you know, because they all love each other, and nobody wants to be critical, because they know how hard it is and what an uphill climb it is. It's like, you know, it's soccer really in America is like a no-win situation. You know, everyone just, you're America. You should be the best. You should be the best. And that's just not going to happen. You know, and we may have a time where we can get into the top 8, you know, and maybe we come through and win a World Cup or just get to the semifinals. That might happen, but I don't think we're never going to be the power that we are in other sports. And that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. And this is why I wanted to, like, to your point, I wanted people to embrace soccer a little bit more, because it is the world's game and we should be more part of the world. And if we were better at it, we would be. Well, we're not.
Kicker, right? That's the kicker. And I think, and that's the thing that, like, and my hope for this whole thing was I fell in love with soccer in 2002. And I hate bringing up the past because, like, the past is the past, but, like, I fell in love with soccer in 2002 because I watched the United States team go toe-to-toe with Germany in a quarterfinal and kind of get screwed on a handball on the goal line that would have sent them to the semifinals.
That's right.
The team that I was watching was a team that was willing to die on the field. Like, it didn't matter who they were playing. They were willing to die on the field, and they would do whatever it took to get the job done. And that's what makes it so hard.
Yeah. Didn't see it last night.
If you went down fighting like hell last night, everybody leaves that with a tremendous amount of pride, and they think, you know what, like, just wasn't our night, but damn, did we showcase ourselves well? Yeah. And that's the thing that really is disappointing, is like, this team is so much better than what they showed last night. But you know how it is, man. Like, I forgot about Cape Verde, Argentina by Sunday, right? Because like, there was so much going on. Like, and it's like the lasting impression of this U.S. group to the casual fan isn't going to be how good they looked playing with the ball. It's not going to be how dynamic they looked in the attack. It's going to be, we got our asses kicked by Belgium, and like,
it's going to be the Matt Freeze play is what it's going to be. Yeah, forever. You know. So
it's like that, and that's.
By the way, Reed, you could have stopped that ball too. I don't know what. I picked up my phone to text you at that moment. I said, "I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it."
You could have sent it my way.
No. I was like, no, man, that dude's hurting. He's hurt.
I was trying to tell everybody I was with. Like, I was trying to tell everybody I was with last night. I was like, listen. I was like, if we get to halftime down 1, we're okay. Like, we're okay, but we have to keep it there. And then I thought we came out in the second half, and I actually thought we looked pretty good. Like, it looked like whatever we said at halftime, the moves that we made, like, it looked like things could have started clicking. Yeah. But then,
Reyna came on. I thought he made it was
Yeah. But and then that, obviously that goal was just a straw that broke the camel's back. But, like, feel bad for him. You know, I made mistakes in big games. Like, that's the worst feeling in the world. But, you know,
I can't even imagine.
Goals change games. Goals change games, and goals change momentum. And that was just the deflating moment that, you know, really put the nail in the head for everybody. But
all right,
just a tough night, man. Tough night.
So last question, you know, the next phase is, all right, what do we do wrong? How do we fix it? How do we get better? Now, what did we do wrong? I'm not learned enough to know that. I can just paint the picture of the final game, you know, and emotionally and human nature, what those guys were going through. I think that really was the story of the game. I don't think technical stuff had much to do with it. That was already decided emotionally for me. But there's so much good. There's so much good that we did. And Boligan is amazing. Mm-hmm. He is the answer, man. So how do we leave this, and how do we get better?
So from a positive perspective, I think that we have a tremendous amount of talent that's under the age of 23 that was sitting on that bench. And I think that this guy Freeman, the defender Freeman, and Chris Richards are anchors of the defense for the next World Cup going forward, and they're going to be playing at a really high level. So I think that, you know, we have pieces in place that just experience something that is really tough to deal with.
Yeah.
And then, to be honest, like, it's going to be really reliant on the systems that are in place to develop players that we haven't seen yet, that players aren't talking about, because I don't think that Christian Pulisic is going to be around for another cycle. Like, that would be surprising to me. I don't think that Serginho Dest is going to be around another cycle. Like, I don't think that some of these guys that we're used to seeing are going to be around for another cycle.
Pulisic's legacy is going to be,
which is tough because it's tough because he's somebody that he's so talented, but he just never got it done on the World Cup stage, which is where you make a name for yourself and where you get it done. So it's tough. And I think that the positives that you could take from it are we have systems in place now that are built to develop players that are supposed to go to Europe, and they're supposed to go to Europe by the age they're 16 or 17. And
that's the way it's got to be done.
That's how it has to be. And
that's
you need guys in America that are playing championship level across the board.
Yep.
And the systems are in place to send guys over there. And from there, it's just making sure you get the right player selection. I mean, one of the things that nobody talks about is the Japanese goalie was born in New Jersey, but we didn't want him because we didn't select him to any of the things. We didn't invite him to a camp, and he got hurt by that. And now he's playing for Japan. And he's a stud. He's a stud. So like the best American goalie right now is playing for Japan.
Wow.
So it's like you can't let guys.
That's a killer. Yeah, that's a killer. And that's administrative. That's administrative.
Those guys can't slip through the cracks. And it's like, you need to make sure that anybody that could play for America is in the mix. And he would have been the best goalie in the country, and he would have been a goalie that makes big time saves because he did it for Japan. So
he grew up here.
He has American citizenship. He has American citizenship. So like those are the things you just can't miss on. You just cannot miss on those things. And we missed. And again, like Matt Freese made one mistake, and that's going to be the story of his World Cup. But like, you can't let good players slip through the cracks like that. And that's going to be how you develop and how you move things forward.
Well, and that's, that just takes outstanding leadership. And, I don't know enough about who's in what position, but, that's going to be what will move us forward. I would like to see Pochettino stay. I think he did a great job. I just logistically, I don't think that can happen. Right. I mean,
I don't know.
He has he's going to have other opportunities. Right. I mean,
he can go coach, pretty much any club team, I think, that has an opening if he really wanted to. Yeah. It's just a matter of, how much does he love this project? How much did he fall in love with the idea of this project? And truth be told, it's like, how much do you want to rebuild it? So he never really had the chance to build it, which is something that gives me confidence. He came in late in the cycle.
So you think he might be willing to take this on?
Who knows?
Should he? Is he the guy? Do you think he's the guy?
I would love for him to stay on. I think that you need somebody like that.
I agree.
But who knows? You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Well, this is going to be the biggest decision the American leadership makes.
Yeah.
Is this the guy? And you're going to have to make a significant financial contribution to do it.
Right.
So we'll see how much we love soccer.
I think you put the contract on the table, you put the contract in front of him, and the ball's just in his court, and he just decide what he wants to do. But like from there, it's, if he doesn't re-sign, it's, what type of coach do you bring in? Because what do you want the team to look like? Do you want the team to be a team that plays the way that has the ball and moves the ball around? Do you think we can compete like that? Or, do you bring in somebody that's more about the fight and you want to go back to that, which I don't think we will, but the coach that comes in dictates the style in which the team is going to play.
Right.
So that's like, for me, that's the big overlay.
I think we're well suited to the latter than the former.
Yeah. At least we used to be. I don't know now with the players that we're bringing in, they're more technical. So we'll see. A lot of questions, man. A lot of questions.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating. I know for some, they don't give a shit about soccer, but this is the time I really do immerse myself into it. I think it's a great story. I think we should be a bigger part of it on the world stage. And until we are successful, it's not going to captivate Americans. We're not interested.
I hope that Americans at least got a taste of what the game can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the game can be.
Fans were made.
There's something fun about it. There's something fun about being a fan of this sport. And that's the main thing. It's like, like, I hope you appreciate that and you enjoy that. And that's your main takeaway, because there's a lot of soccer being played in this country. And the fan bases are passionate and they love it. And if you can embrace that for what it is, it's a lot of fun to be a fan of soccer. So that's like what I hope people really take away from this.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think the younger generation is more leaning towards that anyway. Yeah. Something that's more global than just American sports. So I think it still made a huge indelible mark. There's a long way to go. This ending for the U.S. may just be a footnote in years to go, but maybe it won't be. History will tell.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a launching pad, right?
Yeah. Hey, tell everybody where they can find your content, my friend, if they want to continue your great takes on soccer.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. At Jeff_Attinella1. And then of course, I'm always doing stuff with the Rowdies. We have the Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast where we're talking more than just the Rowdies. We're talking a lot of different soccer stuff as well. And, just to final the point, I think that one of the ways that things get developed is organizations like ourselves, organizations like the Rowdies, we do things in communities that invite people to the game, that invite people to play the game.
Yeah.
And we treat people the right way. And players sign autographs after games, and you fall in love with your local team because we're doing good things in the community, which we do. And, if you have teams operating the way that we operate across the country, that's back to the grassroots efforts. And that's what you have to do.
As well said. I don't know who said it on the broadcast last night, but somebody did. It may have been Rob Stone or somebody else, but they said, listen, if you enjoyed what you watched over the last few weeks, don't stop. Go support your local club. Whatever it is, go support your local club, and let's keep this thing rolling. I think that's the appropriate thing to do. That's where I'm wearing my Rowdy screen today.
Oh, I love it, man. So we're owned by the Rays. I went with the Rays poll today because I might be at the game tonight.
Nice. Very nice. I know. We need a little pick-me-up. tonight.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, thanks, man. That's what we're going to talk about next. Appreciate you, buddy.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting me come on.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's been great. Really enjoyed the time and the conversation. All right. I want to thank Jeff and all you guys out there for putting up with the soccer talk. If you're not into it, our numbers are pretty good this morning, though, Tim. I think people like it.
If they weren't into it before, they are now. Plus,
I hope so. Yeah, if they've stuck around for this long. Thank you very much.
Spokesman too, and he's just full of information for it.
He's good. He's really, really good. I want to. We want to do a podcast with him for sure because he's really, really good. All right. Big thanks to Genesis of Tampa, our first hour sponsor. And in about 20 minutes, I'll be picking up my car from my valet service, Tim, where they come and pick up your car, give you a loaner, they go fix your car, then they bring your car back. That's how they do it at Genesis.
I got to go clean vomit out of my car. So there.
Well, there you go. Some of us are having better car days than others. So Genesis of Tampa, I got mine 3 months ago, GV70. It's one of the cars everybody's talking about because of the performance and the price, the luxury and all that. The price just doesn't match up. It is ridiculously low for what they give you in this automobile. So take advantage of it. Go see the fleet of Genesis cars there, the GV70, the GV80, the G70, G80, phenomenal automobiles at the top of the line for not a top of the line price. Genesis of Tampa. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
Big thanks to Italiano Insurance, the great folks over there. They will soon be part of Gallagher Insurance. A little name change, but same great folks, same great customer service you've known for over 65 years. They do all the work. You save all the money. ItalianoInsurance.com at 813-877-7799. Hey, guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service you get, $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, soon to be AJ Gallagher Insurance. You're going to get the same great customer service as you always have at Italiano Insurance, but you get the big things too with the bigger agency, more options of insurance, which will bring you lower cost. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Soon to be AJ Gallagher Insurance family. All right. So the Rays, big series against Yankees, and it's done. As they lose last night 5-1 to the Yankees in a most bizarre game. The Yankees struck out last night 17 times. Yeah. There's only 27 outs, and 17 of them you struck out. I'm not sure you're supposed to or even allowed to win that game. But in baseball, it doesn't work that way. It's about runs, as you know. And last night, the Yankees hit home runs. 3 hits, all home runs. 2 by Caballero, 1 by Rice. Griffin Jax was absolutely untouchable. 10 strikeouts in, 5 innings? Yeah, dude was untouchable. I was watching some of the extended highlights last night, and the Yankees announcers were just kind of laughing, like, "Wow, these are not good at bats." Griffin Jax is making us look silly. And then for some inexplicable reason, he walks 2 guys. They can't touch your stuff, bro. Throw it over the plate. They can't touch you. He walks 2 guys, and then finally makes a mistake. And Caballero just destroys it. And instantly a 3-run lead for the Yankees. And the way Schlittler was pitching, you knew the game was over. It was freaking over.
That guy's good.
As bad as the Rays at-bats were, or the Yankees at-bats, the Rays were worse. 4 anemic singles, exit velocity less than 75. That's all they could get off this guy. And thanks to Chandler Simpson's speed, they got a run out of it. But that was domination. And that's the problem with this Rays lineup. is most days they can keep you in the game, especially with the way the Rays pitch the baseball and pick it up. Pitching and defense, these are regular season games against the more average teams and maybe some more average pitchers. But when they face elite pitching and they can just pitch around the couple of guys you got, which are basically Aranda and Caminero right now because Yandy's hurt. His left shoulder is hurt and his bat's not as fast. And he's 2 for 22 since he hurt himself. So he's clearly not himself. So that's 2 guys left in the lineup. You pitch around them, and that's what you get last night. The lineup is not deep enough to make any indention on elite pitching. And that's what you see in the playoffs, elite pitching, and a lot of it. So that's why you have to spend money to bring in more offensive players and proven power hitters like you saw last. Well, I mean, is Caballero a proven power hitter? Dude's got pop, a little bit of pop. That's his, 10th home run, 9th and 10th last night. But he gets jacked up when he plays against the Rays. He said it last night. Said, I love playing here, but yeah, man, I get a little jacked up when I play against the Rays, especially when you drop a can of field. And he's been killing us since he got there. So, tip of the cap to the Yankees last night. They won a game that was kind of weird. But, yeah, 17 strikeouts, 3 hits, all home runs. And the Rays lose. That's a weird one, Timmy. That's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, I was perusing the box score a little bit, and that's, if I'm just looking at the box score and I don't look at the line, I'm like, oh, that's a big win for the Rays.
Yeah.
But, now after, the 9-game winning streak, you've lost 3 in a row, and you've lost 3 in a row ugly, too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, a walk-off, and then an anemic shutout, and then last night felt like a shutout, too. I mean, it was just, yeah. No,
so again,
no.
You can't get too high when you're on the 9-game winning streak. All we're doing is full of praise. Although Big O is usually pretty good to rein us back in and say, look, yeah, they're winning, but there's issues here. And then those issues come back. And then when you have the 3-game losing streak, it all points back to that. So
it looks ugly. Yeah, you see all the pimples. They just look worse. Unfortunately. We don't forget about them, but when they lose 3 in a row, then it just, it looks ugly. It looks ugly, and that was ugly last night. Let's hope tonight is better. We'll see. See if the Rays respond. Michael LaRue says Matt Turner should have been the number 1 goalkeeper. Matt Freese didn't make any plays to help his team all tournament. Freese isn't an international player.
What does that mean?
Would agree.
What does that mean? That he's not an international? I mean, if you're good at soccer, you're good at soccer. Is the international game markedly different somehow for guys?
What it means is
the moment
he's not good enough for Europe. He's not an international player. I mean, he's an MLS guy. He's a good MLS goalie.
Okay,
it's a very derogatory thing to say about a player.
No, I understand that.
And in this case, I think he's right. I don't. I thought he was shaky all tournament. I don't know. Michael says the so-called golden generation of U.S. soccer has failed to live up to the hype. Despite all the talent, the results just haven't been there. Amen. Chris Cole, USA crapped the bed at the worst time. Oof. It's all true, man. Alejandro, hopefully there's some positivity here. So good morning, JP and Petermans. While losing to the Yankees yesterday sucks, it's only 1 game. Let's get back and win tonight. Take 3 out of 4. Worst case scenario, we split the series. That's fine. Well, that ain't the worst case scenario, Alejandro. I hate to tell you, but there's 3 games to play, and you're facing some pretty good pitching. So, what you got? That's why we play the games. What you got? Danny Boy says, good morning, gentlemen. Thierry Henry said it best on the Fox Pros game last night. Levels. That's right. There are levels, and we ain't into top level. And that's hard for Americans to swallow, but it's true. No matter. And this has been, in my lifetime, a very vigorous pursuit. And I would have said back in 1980 or 1990, by 2026, America's going to be a top 5 team in the world in soccer. I would have said absolutely that's true.
Oops.
We're starting to put resources into it. We're starting to recognize it. When we do that, we are going to kick ass like we do with everything. That's what 1990, 1985 JP Peterson would have told you. And I'm dead wrong.
Wrong. I think this goes back to what I said a couple of weeks ago when we first started this run and talking about it and why, I get asked all the time, well, why do you think, the U.S. trails the world in soccer? And I think it's because of competition.
Yeah.
I think kids growing up here, you play soccer till you're 5, until you invent or until you discover baseball or football or basketball or another sport. And girls. Well, not at the age of 5. I mean, I was 6 probably,
but as you get older,
more
not trying to be a jerk, but the chicks like the football players and the basketball players and the baseball players.
So the pool of talent in America, I think, to draw from for soccer is much, much smaller than the rest of the world, because in the rest of the world, your top athletes in that country grow up knowing that they're going to play soccer, and their goal is their national team and the World Cup.
From the time they come out of the womb.
Yes, in America, that's not the case. And I'm not saying the guys that are representing the United States men's national team are not great athletes, because they are, but it's a much smaller pool of athletes that soccer gets to draw from, because your top athletes are off playing football or basketball or hockey even.
And that's the same thing we were saying in 1980 and the same thing we were saying in 1990. And we said, but you know what? There's starting to be more soccer in America. You can get paid for it. You can see the people It'll keep growing. It'll keep growing. But the problem is football kept up and basketball kept up. And baseball and American sports kept up, and they didn't, they kept growing, and kids love those games, and they see, their heroes are getting paid a lot of money to play.
Yeah.
Of course they want to be football players and basketball players and baseball players. That's what they see on TV. That's what they see on their social media. There's just not that soccer. There hasn't been that soccer tiger yet. We keep looking for him, but we just haven't found him. And, Tiger put golf on the map, and probably, it's probably a bigger sport than soccer, I would guess, in terms of viewership. I don't know. I mean, there's more teams, obviously, so that's probably, individual. But I know that the Masters gets a hell of a lot bigger rating than MLS soccer now, or Premier League soccer. Now, World Cup, no, it's World Cup is kind of blowing it away, but on an everyday basis, golf is more popular because it had a Tiger Woods. We haven't had a Tiger Woods.
Do you think that that Americans might have more interest? Because we've seen the interest now, every 4 years that we get from soccer. It's pretty amazing, especially when your team can advance. And I know every year or every World Cup is not hosted in America. That had a lot to do with it this time around as well. But do you think if the World Cup was every 2 years, maybe people would be more into it because it's more frequently, and you don't have that 3-year downtime that you're not even talking about it?
No, I think actually it's the opposite. I think the fact that it's only once every 4 years, that people really, really get up for it. It's just like the Olympics. There's a magic in not being oversaturated like the NFL is getting. Right.
Well, I mean, now you get Olympics every 2 years. They're just not. They're alternating.
Right, true.
But you still have them.
True.
That's why they did that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's it's appropriate. If it's your sport, it's once every 4 years. That makes it bigger.
Sure.
That makes it bigger. If this was every 2 years, I don't think people would be talking about it. Then that would be the Champions League or whatever that thing is, or they do every 2 years in Europe, right? It's just a different level. World Cup is just because it's every 4 years, and I think the Olympics too. So you differentiate yourself by doing that. I think I would stick with that. I think it's paid off. Danny says in the group stage, maybe you can get away with some mistakes versus lesser opponents, but in knockout football and elite opponents like Belgium those mistakes kill you, and that's what Belgium did. Yeah, I think if it was Spain or France or England who have won the World Cup, Belgium's always been a really, really talented team. They won European championships, not the World Cup, right? I don't think they've won the World Cup. But they've been an elite or European team. And the U.S. is just not close to that. That's what it told you. You thought we were getting closer because a lot of our guys are playing over there. And Belgium just, that's a different quality. And they took it to us, and we didn't have a response.
Yeah, I guess I didn't show enough respect to Belgium when I made my prediction last week of 17-0 Team USA, right?
That was disrespectful. They probably saw that. You're the problem. Yeah. That's what fired him up. 17-0. What is he saying? I don't know if that's a Belgian accent, but
I don't know what that was, but it sounded good.
They speak Flemish. What the hell is Flemish? I've actually, my good friend Joe McEwen got married in Braschat, Belgium, so I've been there.
Oh wow!
And and it is wonderful, wonderful people. It's great. Beautiful freaking country. Oh my Lord, wonderful people. I got nothing bad to say about Belgium. They are
really ugly flag. Beautiful.
Antwerp, amazing city. It's wow. But it's soccer. Yeah, it's a tiny country, but they are really good at what they do, and we're not close. I never thought we were going to win that game ever. Kurt Thorson says, "Good morning, Kurt." Says Ray's performance was worse than score. Hitters 1 through 4 went 0 for 16. Yankees only had 3 hits, but all 3 were homers, 2 of which by former Ray traded up. Yanks Caballero, brutal. Are we slumping again? No, I mean, it's just baseball, man. It's just baseball. You guys, come on. You've been around the game long enough to know it's a 3-game losing streak. It's baseball's weird. You get on runs. You can't. It's like you're never going to lose. And when you are losing a lot, you're never going to win. But that's not the way it happens. It always comes back to the mean. And the Rays record at the break is way better than it probably should be. Let's just be honest. Like losing 3 in a row is not, I expect a lot worse at some point this year. Like a 7, 8, 9 game losing streak. I can see that happening. You hit a lot of elite pitching, when it's getting down to it. Yeah, that can happen. So let's all just calm down, relax. Kurt Thorson says the goalie coming out of the net reminded me of the 2015 Stanley Cup and Ben Bishop inexplicably, coming out to mid-ice. Oh, my God. Hedman crashes into him. Chicago scores an easy goal. Yeah, that was on a much smaller stage. Even though that was Stanley Cup, it was a much smaller stage than what we witnessed last night. To do that to Younghoe Koo at that moment, the world is watching, bro.
Man, we sure thought Ben Bishop was going to be the guy here in Dallas for a couple of years.
Yeah, no, he was talented. He was really good.
Injuries derailed him big time.
Yeah, but man, when he was right, oof, he was elite. That dude was elite. Big dude, too. Nathan Elliott says, good morning, Tim, the Texas Man Ham. Welcome back on this Recovered from Hangover Tuesday morning. Yeah, you haven't addressed your no-show yesterday after July 4th weekend. I don't know. I don't do things July 4th. I just don't. I work. Some of us work for a living, y'all. Well, no wonder you felt like shit on Monday then. Yeah, too much fucking work. I get that.
I did almost get in a fist fight with my neighbors, though, Saturday.
You got in a fist fight with your neighbor?
Almost got in a fist fight. Another neighbor called the cops before I beat the ever-loving crap out of this dude. Shooting off fireworks at my house.
At your house?
At my house.
Directing towards your home, your domicile.
We had a house two blocks down. That's going to burn down 2 years ago.
That's going to be a problem. Yeah, well, I think we know why that house burned down 2 years ago. And evidently they're trying to do another one. Like, what the F?
Yeah. No, I was.
Yeah, that would be a problem. That would be that would be a problem on the JP Street.
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro says, I hope Joe is at Longo's Hall of Fame ceremony and number retirement ceremony as well. I'm pretty sure he'll be coming in. We'll ask him about that. Joe Maddon. In fact, I hope most of the 2008 Rays team are there at Longo's weekend to celebrate their teammate. No, I think that's all happening. I'll ask Joe about that. But yeah, what a team that was, man. That 2008 Rays team. Woo! That's a good baseball team. That was a really, really good baseball team. Joe had them humming. Yeah. Oh, we had to relive some of those days. Yeah. Kurt says, I wish I was going to the Trop this weekend. Got to have a baby instead. Wow, you're having a baby?
On purpose?
Yeah. I'm not reading your politics stuff, Kurt. We're not going to do that today. Can't do it. Can't do it. He said World Cup is only hyped up because of its infrequency once every 4 years. It's the fifth favorite sport in USA at best. We can all go back to not caring about soccer.
I don't know that it's fifth, to be honest with you.
I listen, guilty. I'm guilty. I totally admit it, but I like to get fired up every 4 years. You know, and I love watching the women play too because they win. They win World Cups. Yeah. Kurt says the cheapest ticket to see my Vikings in Miami versus England. Oh, Norway. I thought you were talking about the Minnesota Vikings. I'm what $6,700 for a Vikings Dolphins game? What are you talking about? Oh, the big rowing machine. How about that guy Holland? That guy Holland is captivating the world.
That dude's ugly. I'm just telling you right now. He is ugly human.
Good
but Lord.
There's a video of somebody put on the web. It's really cool. And they were just ISOing on him from the stands for about 20 minutes or 20 seconds before he scores the header goal, his first goal. And it literally looks like he's walking through the park, Timmy. Like he's just standing, he's walking around just because it's just ISOed on him. You see players kind of going back and forth, but he's just like walking around, waiting his time, kind of looking down over here, not running at all. Oh, no, I'm just going to light jog a little bit. The ball appears to be coming in my vicinity. I think I might pick it up just a little bit now. So you see him running, and all of a sudden the ball comes in, puts it off his head, and he scores.
That's cool.
It's the funniest video you'll ever see. I've heard people talking about on the internet, like, is this at the World Cup? It's like, looks like some guy in a park, like it's just running. Any is it AI? Is it what is that? Like, we don't even know. But that's what this guy does. He just kind of runs around, doesn't, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, it's in the back of the net. What happened? Holland just scored again. He's like a witch. He's like a 6'5" Norwegian witch.
Yeah.
What are those? Are those the aliens, the Olympians? Is that the Anunnaki? Is that what they call him? Is he one of those guys?
Yeah.
They're the real tall, like alien creatures. Yeah.
Like the ones at the mall in Miami a couple years ago.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to read that either, Pooh Shiesty.
I saw that one.
Maybe I will. It says, now this isn't a political show. There's plenty of sports to talk about, but Andrew Gillum was arrested again last night. Was he? I didn't see this. Isn't he the guy the TBT endorsed for governor? I believe so.
Andrew Gillum. Yeah, it says he was arrested.
Look him up.
In Alabama for drug possession.
Shocking development. Florida Lone Wolf says, what's going on here? This whole show about soccer, you're committing too much time to it.
It's every 4 years.
4 years, bro. Come on now. Come on. I'm sorry, but we're going to do it. The U.S. is hosting the World Cup and did an amazing job. This is an appropriate amount of time, says Pooh.
Yeah.
Take that. Like that. Danny Boy says, hopefully the Rowdies get the Ybor Harbor Stadium done. I got mixed emotions on that, Danny. I really do. I think if you build a soccer stadium like they're thinking about, right there on the water and, the beautiful renderings, I've seen them. That would be cool. I ain't going to lie. But I also think the Rowdies in St. Pete makes sense. It really does. The Al Lang's, I was there this weekend. It's an old stadium. It doesn't have the bennies, so I wish they had something better. I wish we had MLS, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not with Orlando, 70 miles down the road. I don't think we're ever going to get it. But and I think St. Pete and the Rowdies really work well together. That whole vibe at down St. Pete, and then the soccer. USL soccer is quality soccer. It's a cool venue. I don't know. I just think it works. But I don't know if that's the way it's going to go because the Rays own them and, we'll see where it goes. Right Brain says, Tim, quit lying. As soon as World Cup's over, you're not going to graph about soccer until maybe 4 years from now. You're You're not denying that, right?
No. Why am I lying? How am I lying? I
No, we are both copying to that 1,000%.
I mean, I'm pretty much done with it now. I have literally no reason to watch any more World Cup, like zero.
No, I'm watching.
I'll watch the final.
I'm invested. I'm invested in all these stories. Who?
France is still
yes,
playing, right?
Mbappe is still bopping.
Yep. I don't know who that is, but I like France.
I was going to say the best goal scorer in the world right now, but Holland is kind of putting that to shame. And Messi is still kicking. He plays today, I believe.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to watch. I'm hooked on the whole damn thing. Florida Lone Wolf says, how are you supposed to root for your local club when there are no local clubs? We have the Rowdies, bro. What are you talking about? Pulisic shouldn't have been in the game because he was injured in the previous game, was in pain the entire time. Well, Chris.
Then he went down again, yeah.
Yeah, and then he went to kick the ball, and the other guy kicked it first, and he kicked somebody's heel. Yeah, that's got to hurt, by the way. But he was a non-factor before he got injured. And maybe he was injured coming into the game, again. And that's, your manager has to make tough calls. Thrag VL says Mexico might have lost, but our aura is stronger than ever before. Portugal and Spain will remember this flag in the next 4 years. Listen, Mexico did great, man. They, and not only in the way their team played, but the way they hosted the games, from what I've heard, there were no issues. A lot of people thought there might be. There were none. The stadiums were incredible. The games were fantastic, especially at Azteca. I mean, Mexico put themselves on the world stage in a very, very good light. Bravo. Is that Spanish? I don't know. Danny Boy says, if we play in October, that's exactly what's going to happen. I think he was talking about the Rays playing October. That would be nice. It could happen. You don't know. Airweed says Jose has really become a douche since joining the Rays. A huge bat flip last night. Since leaving the Rays, I think you meant Caballero. A huge bat flip last night on the way first back to his dugout. His whole feel about him has changed. Need to peg him tonight. Airweed, when he did that, that bat flip was a little over the top. I got to agree with you.
I hate that.
I thought that was a little disrespectful. From a guy that, supposedly liked playing here and respects the fans and loves the fans, that's not cool. I'll say it. That's not cool. You're better than that, Cabby. You're better than that. And who's pitching? Sugar Shane? Former teammate? Earhole? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that should happen. But let's calm it down, Cabby. Let's calm it down a little bit, all right? Show a little respect, huh? A little respect for your the fans you supposedly love, all right? A little respect would be nice. All right, we got to hit a break. Yeah, let's hit a break. We'll come back on the other side. Joe Maddon is going to join us here in just a little bit. We'll talk some Major League Baseball with him, talk Rays, Yankees. Big O is not going to be able to join us today. Something popped up for him, so it'll just be Joe and I. Reminiscing about 2008. We'll do a little bit of that, ask him about Longo weekend. And, of course, stadium issues. He penned a great article, I thought, on the stadium about a month ago. So we'll chat with him about that as well. Hey, we're brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Hey, gold is at an all-time high. Silver is at an all-time high. Whatever jewelry you have or your wife has that she's not wearing, this is the time to turn that into cash money. So bring it on in. Julie and Steve will pay you top dollar for that old gold jewelry. And you can buy something nice. They add a couple discounts onto that as well. If you want to buy something, turn that money around. They'll do that for you. No better place to shop for that engagement ring. We all know that. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Overton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thitoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this depressing Tuesday. No, it's not depressing. It's just sports, baby. Wonderful things to talk about. Watch people excel. It's pretty cool, but sometimes it goes poorly. That's the game. Big thanks to the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source and Italiano Insurance. It will soon to become AJ Gallagher Insurance. Gold and Diamond Source, as we mentioned, they are the place to go if you want to get an engagement ring or sell some of that old gold jewelry. It's Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road. All right, back to the comments here. Airweed says, such a shame to see so many Rays fans leave in the 8th inning after Jose hit his second homer of the night. Bunch of bandwagon fans. It's only 4-1, but walking out of the stadium to beat the traffic. What are we doing? I don't know.
That used to really really bother me back in the day, like people leaving events early.
They may be wanting to go to, I'm trying to think of the timing of it. Yeah, the USA game was probably finishing up about that time. So maybe they wanted to just, hey, let's go watch the end of the USA game. Maybe. Pooh Shiesty says, yeah, chicks dig the long ball. I know. It's hard to get your best athletes playing soccer when, the other ones are getting all the press. Right Brain says, y'all acting like soccer ain't on TV in the USA.
Show me where. Show me where. I challenge you to show me where I can find it on soccer.
You turn on the major networks. Premier League is on NBC every Saturday morning.
Why? We don't have a team in the Premier. Isn't that Europe?
Yeah, people are watching.
I never see soccer on TV.
Oh, I see it all the time. Man Bear Pig said we need a Joe Maddon statue at the New Ray Stadium. Absolutely. Like to see something honoring the 2008 World Series team. I would definitely love to see that.
Well, maybe they wait till 2028 and on the 20-year anniversary and they do something.
Yeah. Douglas Batista says the way Schlittler was pitching, Yankees up 3-1. I agree with Cash not burning his A bullpen. Instead, used Roycroft to burn 2 innings. Yeah, I think you gotta pick up on the vibe. That was a lost game last night. You just did not feel like the Rays were ever going to do anything offensively. And once Cabby hit the 3-run homer, you were like, game over. And it was. I think you're absolutely right. Right Brain says that fan has a football mentality. Lose 3 games in a row in a 162-game season. Y'all are talking about they slumping. Relax, people. He's right. It's just 3 games. It's a long season. They just came off a 9-game win streak. It's not like they haven't been winning. Relax. Rick says, thank God the cops showed up or Tim would have kicked that 9-year-old's ass for shooting fireworks.
Unfortunately, this was not a 9-year-old where I could have excused a little bit of it and I would have found a parent somewhere. This was a man in his probably 30s.
Grown-ass man. Clearly not grown if you're shooting fireworks at someone else's house.
Look, I don't understand people that shoot off fireworks in a neighborhood anyway. I honestly don't understand that. If you want to watch fireworks, go watch one of the productions that we have in the area. Yeah, don't.
You live on a lake. You got some land. Yeah. You go to a park, no some problem. Clear area. Come on now. We're not doing this on, Primrose Lane there where Timmy lives. That's not a good idea.
Not in my cul-de-sac.
Pooh Shiesty says, Holland out there playing like it's a rec league game. I know. You got to see that video, Timmy. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Yeah. It's just like, he's like, you're like, no, this is the World Cup. That's a huge stadium, but it's so isolated. You just see him and then, it's like, boop, it's in the back of the net. Ball comes in. And that's soccer, man. It's a weird game. Pooh Shiesty says, Al Lang is a great stadium. The question is, use it for soccer or spring training. I just think soccer and St. Pete and the Rowdies work really well together. I think they work great together. But they've got to update that stadium or get them an updated stadium. I think they should, when they redo the Trop, I think they should build some type of maybe 7,000 to 10,000 seat stadium, Timmy, with a little covering. And you have the Rowdies play there, and then you high school the shit out of it. Like the biggest high school football game of the week, that week moves to downtown stadium. Little 7,000 to 10,000, nicely appointed, couple luxury boxes, press box type thing, Nothing crazy, just about 10,000 seats. Yeah.
So I was asking the other day if they could still use it for baseball because I know they made it for soccer, but I guess you could still convert that back for baseball, can't you?
Yeah, they still have it. Yeah, they still have it set up like that. Those are temporary bleachers there in right field. Yeah. So it's still very baseball-ish. So and I think if you did that, you recreate. I mean, but there's something. See that to the right though. You know what that is? That's the marina with the sailboats in the bay, and it's effing gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the really great things about Rowdy Soccer. It's right down there on the waterfront, and it's just cool that way. But it wasn't cool the other day. It was hot as hell, and we had to go find shade. But once we did, it was fine. And but you couldn't sit out in the sun. It was like a 6:00 game. It was tough.
I didn't realize how close that was to the Trop. That Trop's right down the road, isn't it?
Yeah, not far away. But really kind of a cool downtown stadium, or even if they wanted to build something like that right down there in the water, that would be really cool. But then you'd have to say goodbye to Al Lang.
Historic Al Lang.
Nathan Elliott says soccer and St. Pete put the Rowdies at the Trop. I don't think that works. That doesn't work.
I do like indoor soccer. I just don't mean that kind of indoor soccer.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Kurt says July 15th, the Board of County Commissioner is in 8 days. What's up with the county vote and potential to take on the city's $100 million portion from the CRA? I know the city isn't doing anything till August. Kurt, I got to be honest with you. I got to check in and see what's going on. Last I heard, everything was good. I think you might be surprised that the city, I think they feel like they got the city votes. So there's that. All right, let's take one more break. When we come back, Joe Maddon will be joining us, former Rays manager. Cup of Joe, you see that on the MLB network, still very much involved in the game, part-time resident of Tampa Bay. So much to talk to Joe about. He does a lot for local charity, and we share some of our favorite charities there. So we'll talk about that. Joe Maddon joining us here when we come back on the other side on the JP Peterson Show. Stay with us. JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. Big thanks to Italiano Insurance, the great folks over there. They will soon be part of Gallagher Insurance. A little name change, but same great folks, same great customer service you've known for over 65 years. They do all the work. You save all the money. ItalianoInsurance.com at 813-877-7799. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler. So don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. So if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, In addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right. Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by all these fantastic sponsors that you see right there below me. It's the reason we get to do what we do and be able to bring on one of our favorite human beings on the entire planet. He is the 3-time manager of the year, 2-time World Series champion, and my favorite manager of all time, the great Joe Maddon. How are you, Joe?
I'm wonderful, buddy. Thank you for that crazy introduction. Thank you.
I got to ask you, topic of the day. I know you're a patriotic dude. Were you watching the U.S. men last night?
No, I tell you what I was watching. I have my families in town, my daughter and my grandchildren, and they wanted to watch Dirty Dancing. So the original movie, Patrick Swayze, right, Jennifer Grey. So that's what we did last night. We watched Dirty Dancing out on the patio.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, it has been an incredible run for you and for the Rays this year. It's been, I don't think we expected this. I certainly did not. And here we are in as big series as I can remember in July with the Yankees, and they're in first place. What would you say about this first half for the Rays? How are you shocked, surprised? What's been the key for you?
The Trop has been a big key to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've spoken against the Trop on many occasions only because, you know, it's just rafters and, you know, erector sets and all that stuff. However, there's a home court advantage to be had. It's difficult to see in there sometimes. I haven't been in there since they made all the improvements from the hurricane, but on television, it looks brighter. It looks more entertaining. It looks like a better place. The fact that they're not playing humidity every day, the fact that they're getting proper rest every day, I think that matters. I mean, the Marlins win 2 World Series, right, playing in the outside stadium down there, which always baffled me. Give them credit. But it's not easy to do. So I think they're back to their DNA, playing in the Trop air-conditioned stadium often. And I think that matters. And I think their identity's been resurrected. You know, the ball flew last year at Steinbrenner. Yeah. The ball's not flying as well, obviously, in the Trop. So you're able to play your Rays style game, and I think that's a big part of it.
What can you say about Junior Caminero and what a generational talent this kid is? He's doing stuff that only the greats have. We're talking about Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays, and these are lists no mortal should be on. But here we are. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, incredible bat speed. First of all, I met him at our event at Ava earlier around Christmas time. We had a fundraiser there, and he was there. And big kid, man, nice kid. Spoke to him briefly. Just came across really well. Then I watched him play baseball. Extraordinary bat speed. It starts right there. Very few people swing the bat as quickly as he does. He can cover, he could wait and then cover, and that's not easy to do. And I like his defense. I don't know what it looks like on a daily basis. I don't know where the mistake is.
Gotten a lot better.
But when I watch him, there's talent there, and his arm strength is very good. And it seems like he cares. For a young man, he carries himself in a way that beyond his years, that's kind of what I get observationally from a distance. So on the weekend that Longo's going into the Hall of Fame, now here's another third baseman. I'd like to see him stay there. I mean, for me, he needs to maintain his agility, his weight, his strength, whatever, all these different components that permit him to play there, because he's way more interesting and valuable playing third base than possibly first.
And he'll be a array for a long time. I get a sense from this ownership group that the days of watching David Price and et al. Walk out the door are over, especially if they get this new stadium done. So I believe he's going to be a Ray. And what a cornerstone to build on, Joe, right? We'll talk about the stadium in a second, but to have a cornerstone like this kid who by the way, during innings, between innings, is sending balls out to kids and waving at them and signing up. I mean, this kid gets it. He gets it. And when your best player, your superstar, is the cornerstone of your franchise, you don't let that guy get out the door. That is once in a lifetime.
He's got a joy for the game. He's got a joy for the game. I mean, listen, I'm here to tell you what you would think everybody does, but not true. Some guys it's a chore daily, whereas for him it is not. He loves to be there. He's good with the attention. He's able to process it in a way that it's not going to become ominous. He's got all the right qualities. And I only know him from one conversation. So what he's doing and how he's doing it, there's got to be a good mentor around him somewhere, whether it's back home or somebody within the group right now. Somebody's been talking to him well, and he's been following it combined with his own innate methods, skills, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this is a long timer. Keep him well. Keep him motivated. He'll stay motivated. He has leadership potential from being as good as he is, plus to the methods that he employs.
Yeah, very well said. Joe Maddon joining us here. Joe, you penned a great editorial on the new stadium and what a generational decision this is for Tampa. You're a resident here, part-time, full-time. You love Tampa Bay. You know it as good as anybody. And from a baseball sense, I would postulate nobody knows it better than you. And what this can the franchise, what it means for the city. Put that in a capsule for me for the fans here. They would love to hear from you.
Well, yeah, when I first began there, it was 2006. I knew the Trop was going to go away right around 2027. I think that was the initial thought. And we got good. We got good, and we got good with a culture. We established a culture. We've already got a tradition there, right? All of that deserves a place that people can be drawn to on a nightly basis, that a lot of people can be drawn to on a nightly basis. When I mean that, not only from the fact that the team is good and fun to watch, but location-wise, how do I get there? And how do I get there often? Not just once in a while, not once a week. It's almost like an NFL game. You got to get there maybe once every 2 weeks because it's so difficult. So, and also the amenities. Quite frankly, if you travel to the other ballparks throughout baseball, the amenities aren't as. Listen, I'm not slamming the Trop. It served its purpose. But
Absolutely.
if you really want to move on and take your place, and I know I made a statement at some point about 50 years down the road, what's this going to look like? And you want it to be there. You don't want it to go. You don't want it to go somewhere else to be successful for many more years to come. You don't want it, the Senators moving, whatever, Oakland, or Philadelphia moving, Kansas City, Oakland, all. You don't want that. You want it to be right there. And it's going to take, I don't know what the word is, sacrifice. I have no idea. I'm not the finance guy. But from the perspective of having a team that appeals to a wide audience, a team that appeals to people that are real baseball lifers, that's how you're supposed to play. The Rays and the Brewers, to me, personify exactly what this is supposed to look like. And they still incorporate the modern day. They're not old school, they're not new school, they're in school, both organizations. So you want the Rays to be there for a long, long time. And listen, I know there's the part that'll make the argument that we don't really benefit. We don't like baseball. We don't like sports, but you do. You do benefit. And nationally, you benefit. The exposure benefits you, us. And eventually it leads to more complementary economical effects that's going to benefit the community now and in the future. So it's just a no-brainer, I think. Yeah, you got a great team, great tradition, a new ownership group. Everybody's excited about this. Now is the perfect time to get this thing going forward.
Yeah, you get a new college out of it too, which I think is really cool. Joe, the 2008 team will reassemble, I'm guessing, this weekend for Longo's weekend, long overdue. It was such a magical time. Covering that was one of the joys of my life, and that team and the players and the personalities and just the quality human beings that were all involved in this, and to see it all come to fruition on the field, which you orchestrated so well. I mean, it was a special moment in Tampa Bay history, and I cannot wait. And I tell you what, this place is jumping for Longo weekend. I mean, there's a lot of people that are just really jazzed up about it. I hope you are too.
I am. I mean, I'm happy. I'm so happy for him and for the group. Like I said, I've been three different places, primarily the Angels. That was my original home. Then, of course, the Rays gave me my first, the Devil Rays gave me my first opportunity. And then, of course, the Cubbies and back to the Angels. I'm so drawn to that area, as you know. I've lived there for many years, had a couple homes down there. I'm a renter there now. I'm kind of a snowbird, but I'm still there for 6 months out of the year. I know the vibe. I know what they're feeling, and this is good. It's good for baseball in the Tampa Bay area to recognize a player like Longo, and I think this is something to build on again moving forward. Whether it's more future potential people put into a Hall of Fame there, or just a new ballpark that you put a banner up there that Longo's name hangs up there, because he had so much to do with the ascension of the Rays. When he showed up, we were so excited to get him there. He gets there, he makes an immediate impact and difference, and he does for years. The way he played and how he played, there was an effort level on a daily basis. There was a preparedness on a daily basis, and there's just a high level of skill on a daily basis. So it's a perfect guy to get this started regarding, like Carl down the road, BJ down the road, Carlos Pena down the road, Shieldsy, Pricey, all these dudes. I mean, there's so many really. This is a high quality group of players that we had there. And this group would have done well in any generation, I believe. So I think Long was the perfect guy to kick it off with. I'm so happy for him and his family, and I'm happy that the entire region is getting into it.
Yeah, and that's it. And it started. That was Longo's rookie year. And so what did you as a manager expect, and what did you get?
Well, the expectations actually were high. What was it, third pick in the first round out of Long Beach State, something like that. First of all, I'm a Long Beach State fan. Okay, I'm confession. For years, I think they've done one of the best jobs of preparing players to become major league players. And a lot of times they'll get guys on like the guys that might have been rejected by Arizona State or USC or whatever, and they go there and they had such like David Snow and Mike Weathers and Blair Field. It was fabulous as a laboratory for a Major League Baseball player. So it all started there. And then, eventually it just morphs into what it eventually does. So I think Longo's background, where he came from and how he's prepped, I think was huge in regards to the success that he had. So when I look at the entirety of this, I always look for where somebody comes from. Like when I see a new Major League player, and I don't know, I immediately I want to know, where's he from? Where did he go to school? Who are his coaches? And that's really important to me. And he could not have been raised more perfectly. And then eventually you saw it. So when he got there, he was, I have like 5 levels of being a professional player. Level 1, happy to be here. Level 2, survival. 3, I have longer I can do this. 4, I want to make money. Number 5, all I want to do is win. When he arrived, he was already at level 3. I belong here. I can do this. Him, Wally Joyner, I could go on some other guys that I've had, that they just had this thing about them that they knew that belonged, they could do it, didn't have to prove it to themselves. They had it innate. So he had all this going on, and that's why he could go down the left field line after his first BP, sign some autographs, come into the dugout. We knew the expectations were high, but we also knew that he could meet them.
Yeah. And so that season was, came together in so many ways. And you look at the Peñas and the Zobrists and the Pricey at the end and Longo. Just talk about the team. When did you know that team could be really, really good? Because your first 2 seasons were not great, but this one, then 97 wins shows up and you win the AL East. When did you know?
Spring training, we did a great job. Andrew and the boys did a great job of acquiring veterans. Cliff Floyd, Troy Percival, and Eric Hinsky. Maybe not the names that you're expecting. Like, Percy had a bunch of saves. Cliffy did his thing, and Ski has a lot of influence. He's been on a lot of championship teams. That was it. We needed to flip this culture where everybody, the level of accountability wasn't high enough when I first got there, not even. Right. And there was like this, the expectation was that I was just going to get stuff for free. There was, the accountability was there. So those 3 guys really, they would get not necessarily in faces, but they would point things out that guys needed to hear, younger players. Because remember, Zoe was a baby at that time. Zoe wasn't even a regular at that time. Carlos had failed with with Oakland and Detroit, but all of a sudden we knew that was in there too. The acquisition, you're getting Jason at shortstop. Garza pitching, Bartlett, and all that stuff. It was just an accumulation of really great thoughts and moves during the offseason. So it wasn't just one or two things. Look at Jake McGee and Wade Davis are in your starting then / bullpen. I mean, listen to these names. I mean, it was that good of a group. So acquisitionally, I think the offseason was spectacular. We needed to flip the culture in regards to how do we win and where is the accountability here. And all of a sudden that showed up, and all of a sudden you got the 2008 Tampa Bay Rays.
We were just talking the other day. Somebody mentioned Johnny Gomes, and we all went back to Gomesy versus Shelley Duncan, and we're like, that was the moment. That was it, right?
Yeah, there's two of them that year.
That was at Al Lang. I think I was there for that. It was at Al Lang Stadium, was it not?
It started at Steinbrenner, though, when Elliot Johnson collided with Cervelli at home plate. And after the game, I remember distinctly, I heard the writers are saying, hey, the Yankees are upset. I said, okay, why are they upset? And I wanted them to say, because you don't play like that in spring training. I needed them to say that. Had they said something like, oh, it's a dirty play, then I'd have to say that's an opinion. But once they said you don't play like that in spring training, that opened up my Pandora's box, because all I've been talking about, we have to play the same game regardless of the date of the year. I don't care. Spring training, May, June, July. It's going to get to October, November. We have to play the same kind of game. So they said that. And then all of a sudden, we go to Al Lang for another spring training game. We actually have to have a meeting with Jerry Crawford and the umpires, me and Girardi, before the game. Oh, yeah. That's a first. A pre-game meeting in spring training. No funny stuff today, right? And then all of a sudden, line drive off, long goes glove by Shelley, who I do love. Then you could see, oh, this is my opportunity, because he was out like 50 feet at second base, and he starts running, and he comes in 2 spikes too high on Aki, and then all hell broke loose, man. That to me was a seminal moment. And the second one that year was the fight against the Red Sox after the altercations with Coco Crisp, but kind of I instigated that a little bit. Yeah, and that was big. So Shieldsy gets him in the thigh. See, so you got to take it. Like, we were the stepchild in that AL East. Everybody said we had to get out of there, and all of a sudden you have to take it. Nobody's there to give it to you. That's the thing. Like, teams that are attempting to ascend right now and trying to play the same game as the Dodgers or these real juggernauts.
Can't do it.
You can't do it. The Rays don't play the same game. The Brewers don't play the same game. It's more like a guerrilla warfare. You kick them in the shins all the time, and eventually you make them bend over, and then you get them in the solar plexus. But that's what you do. And so all these groups are out there right now analytically trying to be the same team as they are. Ain't going to work. Ain't going to work. You got to zig when somebody's zagging, and that's what we've always been able to do. That's what 08 was all about. And you get through the White Sox, beat them 3 games to 1, and then the Red Sox, that championship series, I dare say the Trop has never been that loud. We've had a couple moments since in the playoffs against the Astros maybe, but I remember that series maybe even more than the World Series, but that series being just, that place was up for grabs, man. It was unbelievable. I'm driving to the Trop and I'm looking at the building and say, there's a World Series in that building tonight. Yes. Say that to people even a year before that. That might have occurred, right? They think you're nuts. Are you drunk? You coming to the ballpark with a little bit too much wine today? It was spectacular. It's not even, it's I have a t-shirt. May all your surrealisms come true. That's one of them right there. Yeah, I think dreams coming true happen way more often than a surrealistic moment. Surrealism is just that thing that's like unimaginable. Dreams are imaginable. So that's what it was. And God, it was so special. It was so exciting. And ground ball to Aki, right? Well, we had it kind of one up in Boston, but then you don't, because they came back. And then, of course, that game 7. And God, it can not be more drama than that. And our guys responded so well to all of that. So proud of them. But the city deserved that. The area, the region deserved that. We did it. And that's kind of like, the jumping off point for what's happened after. Yeah. And and I've said since then, Joe, and I've been through this whole saga, since the beginning. I've covered this team since 1998. Hell, I was down here before they even started doing a story on the Trop, because I was working in North Carolina, and we were trying to get a baseball team back then. And we came down there and said, what is this going to do for St. Pete? And nobody really knew. Nobody really knew. And what it blossomed in the first few years was, it was just awful. It was a freaking disaster. Mm-hmm. And then you guys just put it together, and there was a magic in that place. I say, like,
certain places you go, there's some magic sometime, and you just felt it. There was something magical about that season and walking in that building, and the residue, you guys kept it going for a while. You really did. And then it just went, dormant again. But I know what this area can be in terms of baseball. I know the fabric of Tampa Bay baseball is so much more, way more than hockey. And I work for the Lightning, but there's something that's been living inside that when it gets to a state-of-the-art stadium in the middle of the market and an ownership group that really cares and is going to get this done, I'm telling you, baseball is going to explode in Tampa Bay. And everybody that talks shit about baseball don't work in Florida, we're finally going to do it right. We're finally going to do it right, and I think it's going to be incredible. And I'll stand by that statement, Joe.
No, I agree with you.
We're this close.
100%. I mean, it's when somebody starts anew at something, sometimes you don't check all the necessary boxes. They always go for bright, shiny, and sexy. You got to do the groundwork. You got to have a good ground game. You got a good offensive line. And to me, that's establishing your culture, your tradition. Yep. What are we all about here? What draws people into relationship building, the trust that is established, ideas are exchanged, and then the really important part is where you could have constructive criticism flow back and forth, because at that point you are on the same page. Nobody becomes offended or hurt or whatever, and furthermore, nobody needs to get credit. There should be there's not necessary for credit to be doled out to anybody right now. What's necessary is this is for the greater good. This is going to benefit everybody. And I know I know there's the folks that are not, like I said, not necessarily sports addicts that are going to disagree with that. But in an ancillary method, there's going to be benefits that, like I said, are going to drip over all different components.
$75 billion in economic impact. It's a no-brainer. It just is.
Yeah. Right. I listen, I agree. And I'm not really that great in economics, but that's pretty obvious to me. So I'm just saying, don't overlook establishing the traditional component. Where you bring people in and they like what you're doing, and what you say and how you say it matters. It's not just about the right shortstop or right-handed pitcher, or the greatest analytical department or the biggest baseball ops. Check all the other boxes, and then eventually this other stuff will matter.
Yeah. We're going to pull it all together. It's going to be fabulous. Joe, one other word I want to about baseball, and then I want to talk about our homeless empowerment program, which is something near and dear to your heart, and I just got to experience. But Major League Baseball, I've never seen it better in my lifetime. The pitch clock and the changes, I think we can have small disagreements, but the game has never been better. It's never been more athletic. It's never been more exciting. What are your thoughts on it? I know to me, we're on the same page with analytics. It's helpful, but I think it's dominating the game a little bit too much. But we're in a good place right now. Would you agree with baseball being a good place?
I love the pitch clock. I mean, some of the rules I don't like, honestly, quite frankly. I love the pitch clock, and I like the pitch com. And I think those are great. And I think eventually if they come up with the check swing rule, that's another win. I don't necessarily like runner on second base. I don't like 3-batter minimum. Any new rule that subtracts strategy, I'm not into. Any new rule that professes and causes expediency, I'm into. And I think that's what everybody's digging on, is that the game is a quicker game. I mean, I'll argue when everybody talks about athletically, I was there in the 90s with the Angels, and I was part of Tim Salmon, Garrett Anderson, Jim Edmonds, and Darren Erstad in the same outfield. It doesn't get much more athletic than that. I mean, if you trace back to all these different things, look at the Mariners with Jay Buhner, Ken Griffey Jr., and then eventually Vince Coleman comes in and plays left field. So I don't necessarily buy that argument. I think it's being promoted that way, but I don't necessarily agree with it. And the part that bothers me a bit, and listen, I'm just being honest with you. If you look at the standings, it's a 500 league, and everybody's aspiring to be 500. And they make adjustments as the season's in progress if they think they have an opportunity. I want to hear more people profess from day one that we're out here to win the World Series this year. We're in it to win the World Series. We're not just in here to compete. I don't want to just be a 500 team. Again, when I got to the Rays specifically, and I know with the Cubs too, listen, we're not here to be 500. We're here to get 5 over 500, then 10 over 500, then 15 over 500. There was a time you had to be at least 20 plus over 500 to even sniff a playoff. Like
That's
90,
right.
90 and 70.
That's
I mean,
right.
that was, you're sniffing right there. And now it's like people with mid 80s might have an opportunity to get in the playoffs. I'm not arguing against the interest generated by more potential playoff bursts. I'm not. I like that. But I'm against the argument that you think all of a sudden the athletes are better than. Just go back and look at the the names who had just come up, like 90s, 80s, 90s. That's my sweet spot. 80s, 90s, 2000s, and before that, all the guys that I loved on the baseball card. So I don't necessarily buy that argument. I love the argument about pitch clock, pitch calm, and now the check swing kind of a thing. I think, two throwers to first base. No, don't impact strategy, impact expediency.
That's fair points. All of that right there. Joe, I was over at the homeless empowerment program in Clearwater the other day, just helping out, doing very, very little. What they have put together over there and the impact they are making is something really, really special. And I highly recommend people volunteer there. Met some really, really cool people and interesting folks. And that's the Lord's work is being done over there.
I'll tell you what, I'm saying you, meaning anybody that's listening, go over there and check it out. Go over there and see Barb and everybody and check out what they do on a daily basis. That's the thing. We go over there, we think we're doing some good. We show up once a year, a couple of times a year, and you think you're pretty hot, right? These folks and these volunteers do this stuff every day. And they meet with these people every day. It's a strong veteran situation over there. The housing they have for former veterans, and just everything they do in general is so first class on their campus. I mean, I never really toured the entire campus until the last time I was there. My God, I didn't know it was all of that. So
it's spotless. They really, I mean, it's amazing.
They nailed it. I mean, we need more of that. And a lot of it, people have to understand when it comes to homelessness, it's not just a male not wanting to work. There's a lot of families there, met hard times, the downturn in the economy. All of a sudden, you're faced with bills that you can't handle, illnesses that you can't pay for, and all of a sudden you are in a broken situation. So get a better perspective. Go over there, ask for a tour, or even ask if you could volunteer for even one day for a lunch, a dinner, whatever. Your perspective will change.
100% believe that. And we're going to need these places more than ever because it's getting tough out there. Well, Joe, listen, thank you so much for your time. You're coming this weekend, right? You'll be there.
I'm not. I got family. Yeah, I got family this weekend, and then this was something that had already been planned, and then I got the Cubs next week in Chicago. It's been like so I did something video wise for Longo. I've been answering a lot of questions all over the place. I'm going to do something today
your time,
with MLB Network also. But yeah, I had my plan. My family's here, and then like I said, all next week is the 10-year anniversary of the Cubs winning the World Series.
Now, well, family first, Joe, and we appreciate that. Now, your time is you spend a lot of time here, and you spend it with us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All you do for all our charities here, it's amazing. So, I'll see you soon.
Always a pleasure, man. We had a great first tee event at Palmacia this past spring. That was outstanding with Gary Koch. So, yeah, I love all that stuff. I'll be back. Be playing some golf. I'm a St. Pete Country Club member now. So
I owe you a round of Palmacia. So when you get back, let me know.
Reciprocal. I got you down to St. Pete too.
Sounds good.
Buddy.
Awesome.
Be well,
Thank
bud.
you, Joe.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Great Joe Maddon right there. Man, you could talk for hours with that man about everything, life, baseball. I hate to just limit it to just baseball.
I love old school baseball conversation, man.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm impressed with his take on the new rules. You know, a lot of old school guys.
I agree.
Resisting the change, but he understands the good of the game, and he understands what's gonna increase popularity, because there was a fall off for a while, and a lot of people complained about the pace of the game, and I wasn't necessarily one of those. I'm into baseball, whatever, but I love the pitch
DH
clock.
Having pitchers hit just changes the whole strategy of the game. It just and we've kind of dumbed it down a little bit, bit. So, but it used to have to apprentice and manage 1,000 games in the minor leagues before you would even sniff a shot at the big leagues. And now we're hiring managers from college. I don't know if that's better or worse, but it just seems different. It's just
look, if you can manage, you can manage, right? The problem is, I think I don't know that the vetting process for some of these guys is as thorough as it should be.
Yeah.
So
well, just in general, by definition, people used to have to use their brain. There wasn't all the technology to answer these questions, and they had to use their gut. And they had to use their experience, and they had to, you had to manage 1,000 games in order to manage a baseball, because otherwise you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. It was just because you had to get that experience and understand the game to be able to do it at a major league level. And now, you can learn a lot of things in a lot of different ways, and there's just not as much demanded.
I don't want it to get to the point where you're taking the managers or the players' guts out of it, right? Because that's
we're getting
part of the game. I know. And he brought up something interesting. He brought up the check swing. So there's ABS for the check swing. I don't know if you've seen this, JP, that they're using in a couple of the minor leagues.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an ABS for the check swing, and it's been very successful. And it's because the check
that
swing
should be an easy one.
Has sort of evolved over the years, where it's where is the stopping point for it to count? It's evolved tremendously over. The last 100 years.
The rule is what, 50%? If you get 50% over the plate, then it's a swing.
I don't know. I think maybe that's what's written, but that's not always what's called. Sometimes it's, did you break the plane of the of home plate, the 90-degree at the front of the plate, or
I don't know.
Did you break the plane of the third base or the first baseline? Like it's been all over the place, but this has set a definite set of rules to define it. And then also you've got the ABS camera system that can tell you exactly whether it was crossed or not. And that's been very successful. And I'm kind of for it, man. It's been so ambiguous. I hate ambiguity like that in baseball. You got to have some things got to be defined.
Airweed says that they were bandwagon fans that left early last night. It was halftime for the soccer game when the 8th inning hit. The Rays played the second half of the soccer game on the big screen after the game was over. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
That would have been a fun place to watch it. Well, until
not really. Maybe not.
Until froze and Young Wei cooed. Oh my God.
Or Young
The right brain says NBC Sports, ESPN sometimes shows soccer just to name a couple. Tim, use your TV guide, sir. He's not okay with you.
Number one, I don't watch ESPN. Never will. Number two, NBC Sports. Are you just talking about NBC, or do they have their own NBC Sports channel? I'm unfamiliar. And they don't make TV guides anymore.
Wayne Cleveland says both teams played great. It's just that the Yankees played perfectly. The Rays just have to at least split the series, and the Rays will be fine. Yeah, listen, there's no panic going on, but I don't, this is why they pay dominant starting pitchers big money, because one guy can completely win the game. And that's what Schlittler did. Hell, Jax was on his way to doing it and just had a brain fart. Just walked two guys and turned a one mistake into 3 runs. Griffin Jax is an interesting study. He has got stuff. Ain't no doubt about that. But I sometimes wonder about his mental approach. Just, is he tough enough? Mm-hmm. Is he mentally tough enough in those situations? And he can find it. He can learn it. He can learn it. I don't want to talk about it. All right. Anything else we want to get to here? Messi is on now. Okay, we're gonna go watch Messi. All right. Huge thanks to Joe Maddon. That was a fascinating conversation. What was your favorite takeaway, Timmy, from Joe?
Just his, as it always is, his passion. He still has that passion for the game.
Oh my God.
You can tell it's still there, man. The guy could probably still manage today at 72 years old.
Oh God. Yeah. I would hire him in a heartbeat just for culture alone. I love the Rays to find a place for him. I don't know what, it's like, Joe's so smart and he's got opinions, and I don't know it would be if he's not the manager, what is he? Is he the general manager? He's not going to do that. We're not going to change managers. There's 2 jobs that he could possibly have, and they're both taken by guys that are doing pretty damn good. So
I don't know that a current manager would want him on staff anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Him and Cash, they get along great. And
I know, but
it's just he's that much of a presence. It's like and that works against him. I don't think he could ever have a minor role. he's just too big of a presence. And I say that with the utmost respect. It just, I would not want him working under me because that would be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could not be that guy's boss. Like, that would just be completely weird. No. So, but that wisdom, that baseball wisdom is just, it's captivating. It's absolutely captivating. And if you've ever talked to him about any other subject besides baseball, it's equally as captivating. Kurt says half of Major League Baseball cities have a law, not a rule, law that the players cannot use chewing tobacco. How does that get enforced? Oral cancer? I don't know. I don't know why I even read that at the end of this. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks to Big Joe Maddon. Thanks to Jeff Attinella as well. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. We'll see you then. That's that. What did you think of that show?